Viewers, welcome back. Welcome to episode 5. As you can see, car's top's down, wheels are back on. It is time to start air management. So every air ride system needs a reservoir or a tank, whatever you want to call it, for storing air. And what I decided to pick for this build was a square tank. This guy's kind of an old school guy. He likes lowriders and stuff, so I couldn't think of anything other than going with a square tank, because this particular tank will remind you of an old CCE or a Hoppo's hydraulic pump. The end caps go on just like a tank goes on a hydraulic pump. We'll get this thing all unwrapped and we're going to get a little deeper into the tank. Okay, so whenever I said that I just bought a square tank, I wasn't just telling you that I bought a square tank. I'm telling you that I actually bought a square tank. That's the name of the company. This one here in particular, it's got like a flat graphite finish. These ends are really cool because you can pop them off and turn them all according to your application. You can hide all your lines and fittings and everything, or you can embrace and show them. So as far as valves go, he's going to have sounds in this car, so we're going to be pretty strapped for room. So we got one of these, a Chad Chris valve block. You got your 4 outlets, or one for each corner. And this is one thing I really like about it. You only got to run one airline to them. You run your one airline, and then you cap off the backside, and then you have a charged block. In the past, what a lot of guys would do would just hang all the fill and dump valves off the end of the tank, and that's not really aesthetically pleasing. But luckily, you know, stuff has evolved over the years, and these here are really the way to go. So what we did as far as air supply, we picked one of the biggest names in the whole air ride community. We went with the Viair 485C dual pack. I haven't used these, but I mean, if it's Viair, it's good stuff. I've never had any issues with them. I'm gonna go ahead and sit you back down here. I'm gonna start yanking some shit out of this box. This dual pack comes with a ton of stuff. I mean, you got all your filter plumbing here. I mean, you get relays, a pressure switch, and a fuse block. I mean, and the compressors already come with check valves on them. That's how they've always been. I mean, that's one thing I've always really liked about Viair. They do check valves on the ends of their leader hoses. Get this box the hell out of the way. So there's a lot of stuff here, and I just looked at the receipt. I think it was like 514 bucks from Horn Blaster. So I would definitely recommend. I mean, without even trying them out, I mean, I couldn't be happier with all the stuff that we got here. So I'm gonna unwrap these and we're gonna see what we're working with. Okay, so right off the bat, the first thing I noticed was the cooling head here. It's all space agey and Art Deco-y. I like that. It looks like a hood ornament for a 1955 tour bus. Man, that is super slick. Big fan of that. I don't know if it's just because the compressors are so big or what, but that is a big check valve and it's on a swivel. I mean, just like the old ones, but that's a big 3/8 MPT check valve. This here is what I'm used to. These little tiny quarter MPT. I mean, that's a hell of an upgrade. And then I've never seen these, but they really bring that look around. These little rubber covers. I mean, hell, you could literally put those on your current 380s or 444s or whatever you have. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, okay, pal.
I'm satisfied. We'll see. So I cleaned out the trunk here and pulled all that carpet up. So with not having really anything to bolt to as far as this part of the floor goes, I'm gonna have to bend up and weld some risers to this, and then I'll have something to bolt to. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take some of this 1 by I think that's 1/8 inch steel strap here, and that's gonna be all my bracketry for pretty much every bit of my air management. So I'm gonna get on the saw, get me a piece cut out, and we'll get her bent up. Well, that was easier than I thought it was gonna be. Got everything on the first try, got the stilts on there. Suppose it's time to tack it in. One last time, I'll go through and measure the lateral. I've got marks for my front to back, so we're good there. And there we go. So what you run into on compressors is you got damn near no edges to measure to or from. So what I'm doing here, and it seemed to work out pretty okay, I'll just run my square up against the body of the compressor and measure from as close to the center of the tank as I can. So the name of the game whenever you're working over a trunk, symmetry. You want everything dead center, you want everything spaced evenly, you just want everything to flow. All the brackets are burnt in now. Off camera I went ahead and laid the carpet over and cut everything around, and I went ahead and just installed the tank and the valves. We don't need the compressors all in the way right now. It is now time to do some tube work.
What the fuck just happened?
There you go. I'm gonna go ahead and finish bending this up, and then we're gonna get on the compressors. So I've been getting the car ready, and it is time to actually wire up compressors and set them in stone. So I'm gonna go with a single pack 80. How these work is it's a solenoid. Current goes into the low side, actuates the high side, completes your circuit, and kicks your compressors on. These are pretty resilient. I've used a couple of them on a couple different applications. Big fan. So let's go ahead and hit the trunk. So wiring up the Pack 80, it's pretty simple. There are diagrams all over the internet, or if you know any good 12 volt guys, you can ask them. But what you got, you run straight from the battery to the top post. Then you got your wire that feeds your compressor on this post, and there's the circuit you want to make to actually get the compressor on. And as far as actuating this solenoid, you're going to have a wire coming from the pressure switch for this post, and then a ground for this post. Okay, now I got the car all plumbed up, wired up. Everything's done except for one last detail. Most important part. Got an AVS 7-switch rocker box here. It comes with the directions on what wires go where. Comes with a bag of quick disconnects. We like these. They jive right up with the Chad Chris block. Here's your instructions that come with the block. Literally all you gotta do is just hook up the corresponding wires and you're done. Let's get this car moving. So back here at my Glamour Shot spot here on the property, she's there. Got a little bit of a rake to her. But she just looks killer. Brock, I think you got you a good car here, bud. Couldn't be happier. Under the hood, we're pretty factory appearing. I mean, you can see and service the bag. As far as retaining rebound, I couldn't get a shock in there, guys. So what I decided to do was just get new parts and run the factory sway bar, and it really took a lot of that Cadillac rebound out. So it's more bounce and sit than it is, you know, just doing the whole Cadillac thing. Got real hard shocks in the rear, and it's nice and tight. She don't ride like a Cadillac anymore. She's a lot more planted. But we're gonna close everything up here. We're gonna get it on the road. So while we do some rolling shots here, I figured I'd go through and tell you some stuff that I did off camera. We was getting really close to time to give Brock the car back and time for his show. We started off with these SS6s. These bags are just entirely too small, even with 200 pounds going to each bag. We had to upgrade to an RE7, or you can do SS7 or even RE8 or SS8. In order to run these, you have to notch the frame back behind the control arm. And on the passenger side, especially, see this tear right here? This bag still holds air. Big props to Slam Specialties there. But we got burnt. There's less than 2 inches between the exhaust manifold and the bag. So I had to run a heat shield, and even just for extra insurance, I went ahead and covered that heat shield up with some 2000 degree matting. So figured I'd just add this while you're watching rollers, so there's no surprises in your build. Possibly even save you a couple bucks. So as I kind of finish up our test hit here, it's ready to go back to Brock. This thing hits bridge decks perfect, runs as it should, drives as it should. It's tight, hugs the road, no excessive rebound. I couldn't be happier. If you want to follow this car, follow Brock Edwards at Dream Garage. I'll put the link in the description, along with my bill of materials as far as all the parts and stuff I ran goes. Other than that, we'll see you on the next one. Thanks, guys.